Hey YouTube, Lord Alex here. Today we're talking about this knife right here. It looks like a Mora knife. It is not a Mora knife. This is a Wahoo Killer. Maybe you can see it, maybe you can't. Doesn't really matter. There's a fish on here. It says Wahoo Killer. It's blue plastic. At first glance, if you saw this, say, oh, that's a Mora. Yeah, it's close. This came from the BudK catalog. And if you guys don't know BudK, I wish I brought a catalog in here with me. They sell cheap knives. They sell cheap knockoff China-made stuff. Now they do sell some real knives, some good, the K-bars and things like that. But probably 85% of the stuff they have is cheap China stuff that's, 440 stainless, and, they got a lot of fantasy knives and things like that. Now there's a lot of, zombie knives and things like that. And this is something they have in their catalog that they sell as, I guess, a knockoff to a Mora, or a different choice, I guess. It is a stainless steel blade. It doesn't say what kind of stainless steel. It has the BudK part number on it, BK1144. And the biggest thing about this is they're cheap. I mean, these are already cheap. This is a real Mora knife. And it's already, this is the companion model. And I think this one costs $16. This is a robust companion model. I think this one costs $20. Great knives. Great knives, great knives, great knives. I would pay more than that for these knives. That's how good these knives are. I would probably pay $35 or $40. This knife is worth that. This knife cost me less than $2. Believe it or not. And is it worth $2? Oh yeah. All day long. I'd almost say it's worth $10. Almost. But I got an email from BudK saying, hey, we've got penny shipping today. So I went online, checked out their catalog, and they had these guys on there in 3-packs for $5. I bought 9 of them. Yeah, I bought 9 of these guys for $15. I think my total purchase price with 9 of these, and of course it was a penny shipping, so it was $15 and just a few cents change. I also bought a couple other things from the BudK catalog, and I'll show you those here in the next video or so. But first to start off with, this is a copy of a Mora. It is not a Mora. It's not even close to the quality of a Mora knife. It looks like a Mora, and that's about it. Now you can buy a Mora in a stainless steel blade if you're going to keep in your tackle box or something like that. I pretty much bought these as like disposable type knives. At $1.80 or whatever I paid for them, I can sit this and I can do whatever I want to with this knife, and if I decide I've ruined it, I can just throw it away and grab another one. So the reason I bought 9 of these is so I can spread them out through my different kits and things. So, say if I have both of these knives in a kit, and I need to do something, say, food prep, well, where I don't need an extremely sharp knife. I can just need to cut an apple or cut up an onion or something like that when I'm camping, or a potato or something like that. This is going to work fine, and it's stainless, so it'll work a little bit better for that. Carbon knives are not the best for cutting things like onions, high acidic foods, oranges, things like that, because they will almost immediately show signs of patina or rust or tarnishing. This is good for something you like to keep in your tackle box. because it's stainless. I'm not sure exactly how stainless it is, but it is. It says stainless steel on it. So you could use this for cutting fishing line, or cutting into a net or something if you needed to, or I guess you could probably skin a fish with this. This is actually sold as a fish fillet knife, a fillet knife. This is definitely not a fillet knife. I mean, there's like no bend in this blade. There's no flex in it. It's not that sharp. It's sharp, yeah. It's definitely sharp for a $2 knife, but it does not have the Scandinavian grind as these do. I don't know if you can see this. This knife comes down to here is flat, and then from here to the edge, it's just one grind. That's called a Scandinavian grind. I think it might be a little bit hollow ground. I'm not sure. So I'm not a knife maker. I'm not a metallurgist or any of that stuff. But this knife comes down from here, and then it's got a secondary edge on it here. So this is where your sharpness comes from, instead of coming from here. So instead of having a knife that's got an edge like that, it's got an edge like that, and the tip of here, it's got another edge like that, which is actually the way most knives are. Most cheap knives, at least, because it's easy to do. This takes a little bit more time and more intricacy in the knife making and the grinding. So for this being a $2 knife, I'm sure they didn't take that much time working on it. And I can tell the edge of this, if you look at the Mora knives, they are polished, very nice. There's a couple reasons for that. One, it helps keep the rust down on a carbon knife if it's got a high polished edge on it. Two, it makes it less friction for cutting into things, or cutting through things. This is not polished, and the edge, you can actually feel there's a couple little burrs, like right here, there's a little burr on it. You can feel the machine marks where it was ground down, because they didn't use such a high grit. These probably done like on a belt sander, but they used a coarser media when they ground it, so you can actually feel the tooling marks in the edge of this blade, which doesn't make for a very sharp blade, but it's not hard to touch up. Put this on a diamond stone or something like that, or a diamond rod's what I use, and you can touch it up pretty well. It's not going to be sharp like this. I guess if you wanted to, you could probably, if you're a knife maker or you're really good at stuff like that, you could probably put this on a belt and maybe put a Scandinavian grind on it. That would probably increase the usefulness and sharpness of this knife tenfold. Not sure if you can see it, but even the belly here, these edges are not even that smooth. It kind of comes out to here, and then from here to here it's like a kind of a different angle, and then it's kind of almost like a tanto point right there, and then it sweeps up again. Whereas your Mora knife is just a very smooth, fluid edge all the way around. But like I said, less than $2. Worth that all day long. To keep comparing, the Mora knife snaps in and locks very snugly. These knives, these Wahoo Killers, they don't snap in. They use the grippiness of the rubber handle here to hold themselves in here. You notice this part here that actually holds the retention on the knife is much larger than this one, because this one doesn't snap in. It uses this rubberness with the friction of the plastic to hold itself in. Now it's not coming out. It's in there good. It's in there real good. But I like this setup better. The fit and finish, like I said, with the blade and the grind, that's one thing already. The sheath, it's a plastic sheath. It does feel cheaper. Like it will break faster than this. I don't see it breaking. But if I was going to do a torture test, I'm guaranteed you this one would break faster than this one. And then the plastic edges. Now I might have already trimmed this one up. When I bought it, I'm like, okay, right here. There's a lot of like extra plastic left over from the molding process. Some of them had like a strip going all the way down the seam here where they were molded together. The Mora knives, you have none of that whatsoever. Very good fit and finish. None of that. You can barely see the seam across the top of this one. What I've just been doing is just getting the knife and just going through here and shaving off the little extra pieces of plastic. I guess I've already done that on this one. But you can see right here, there's all this extra plastic. That's not a really big deal. See that right there? Come off the inside of here, and the clip, it looks kind of like the Mora, but not quite. As you can see here, it's a big difference between the way it holds on your belt. These, once they're on your belt, they are on your belt. It is not coming off. The way this thing is designed, it stays on there until you actually, takes a while to get it off. This, not so much. I mean, it'll stay on your belt, but it doesn't have the same holding capabilities as this Mora knife here. Like I said, I bought 9 of these. I've got one by my front door for opening mail. I've got one sitting in here for any random tasks I might need just to have a knife around for. I've got a couple in my truck. I've got one in the toolbox of my truck. I've got one in my EDC bag, along with, I mean, I carry several knives in my EDC bag, but I threw it in there just for the hell of it, you know, because I have a squishy bowl in there and a spork, and I actually have a fork and knife in there, or a fork and spoon. And I figured, okay, what the hell, I'll throw this in there, and if I ever need to peel an apple or something like that, I've got a $2 knife in there. I keep one on my tool belt at work. I'm an electrician, and I use it for skinning wire sometimes, or opening blister packs. It's got tools in it, or whatever. I just pull it out every once in a while and play with it. If I'm bored, I'll get a piece of wood and carve on it, sharpen it to a point, and throw it in the ground or something. Just dumb stuff like that. They're beater knives. They're pretty much disposable knives is what they are, for less than $2 each. I guess this video is getting kind of long on this cheap knife, but if for some reason you can't afford this, I mean, I would still spend the money on the Mora, or the robust heavy-duty Mora, definitely over this guy all day long. If I could only buy 1 or 2 of them, I would rather buy 2 of these. But I've already got several of these. I've got several of these. So I figured, what the hell? I can always, like I said, if I get a big chunk taken out of here, if I get a big nick in it or whatever, I just toss it out and get another one. Pick up another one. I've got 9 of them. I might end up giving a couple of them away. I probably don't need 9 of them, but they're in 3 packs for $5, and I just couldn't turn that down. So there it is. That's my little review of the Wahoo Killer from the BudK catalog. You can find these on eBay and Amazon, I believe, and some other websites. But I believe they were made for BudK. So when you buy them on eBay, they want $6 or something like that for this thing. And that's pushing the limit on what this thing is worth to me. I know a lot of people buy $20 knives at gas stations that are only worth $3, $4. But to me, knowing the quality of this compared to this, why buy the knockoff when you can spend a couple extra dollars and get this? So yes, it is worth $2. It's probably worth $4 maybe. But anything much past that, I would say, now go ahead and get one of these. But if you go on the BudK catalog, or go on their website, and you can get 3 of them for $5, do it all day long, just so you have a couple extra knives. Everybody needs extra knives. I've got a lot of knives, and I like that I have a lot of knives. So, do that. They're good for all kinds of things. they're not good for, at least I would imagine they're good for fillet knives, which is what they're advertised for. Alright, well, if you like this video, I've got plenty more coming about all kinds of different stuff. Give me a thumbs up in a little window, and subscribe. And I've got a lot of cool stuff coming up. I haven't made some videos in a while, and I've got a whole stream of them coming in. So, thanks for watching.